Ralf.
Hi, H-Sound.
Hi, Ralf.
Microphone's super low. Anyway, I'll talk like this.
Who are we talking to today?
What are we doing today? Oh, Mr. Braxton. Braxton was in. We talked all things art.
And theater.
Theater, as I do my jazz hands. Yeah, we sat down. We had a nice little conversation. I felt badly for you during the conversation because he and I are kind of geeking out about theater and doing that whole thing, and then you're in the corner cheering us on. But
you
did.
Again, I haven't actually been in theater. The only closest I came to was ushering people to their seats at CLC.
Oh, nice.
So my first theater production I got to work at was Three Penny Opera.
Okay. Was it 3 pennies?
No, that's how much it used to cost to do an opera.
Okay, gotcha.
Or whatever. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. That's a lie. Do not fact check me on that. But no, it's about Mac the Knife.
Okay, sure.
And he's a schemer, and he's trying to get married for someone's money. And
right now that you're saying this, Braxton was trying to get me into a Kappa show, and they utilize people of all ages. So maybe, since I'm not available for Annie, maybe you might be available for Annie. We can get you on stage.
I don't know.
I think you should do it.
No. I have too much going on.
We both have too much going on.
I can't bring my dogs.
Yeah, you can bring your dogs. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Oh, it'd be perfect.
Yeah,
it'll be like
Annie.
my grandmother on stage
They do
again.
need a trained dog.
Oh, no,
Remember
neither of mine
him?
are trained that way. Mine are like, pet me.
Anyway,
I love
enjoy
you.
Braxton.
Have fun.
Bye.
See Annie.
And Annie, yeah. Support the arts.
Support the arts.
Darn it.
Dang.
Bye.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Thanks for swinging by, man. Encore. I know Dex has been a regular around here for a little while. He and Shannon are very, very sweet.
Yes, I love them, obviously.
Dex's brother.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know if we had...
Older brother, even though
Older brother? Well,
many people are surprised by that.
the older brothers are always shorter than the younger brothers.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
I feel like
Siblings too, girls too.
Okay.
I've seen
Mhm.
I've seen that. I'm a little older, or I'm a little taller and bigger than my oldest brother.
He's much taller.
The guy's a monster.
He's huge.
We had him
Yeah.
in an itty bitty little tiny chair. Did you see it?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny, only because of Ingrid. But then when he came in, we were like, oh,
That's
we should have
true.
just set him up with a
Yeah.
salon chair.
Yeah, we had a bit of a different setup when we moved into this space. I really wanted to make this a little bit more podcast friendly.
It's very nice.
Thanks, dude.
The couch is very comfy.
Good.
It is. It's good for
I'm sure.
napping.
It's got retro vibes in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook Marketplace. Who knows what
that true?
what has happened on that couch? But we're just gonna go
Don't
with
do
it.
that in a big city.
Oh,
I
bed
bet.
bugs.
I bet. Braxton, thanks for
guys.
making time, man.
Thank
I
you
know
so
we were
much for
trying to
having
do
me.
this like last year, and it
Yeah.
just didn't really work out timing wise. But
Thanks for having me. I'm glad I could be.
you smell really good. By
Do
the way,
I?
yeah, you have a
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Hey, I'm
Try
here
to
for
keep
it.
it fresh.
I'm here for it.
Try to
Mhm.
keep it fresh.
You and I kind of, I guess we can say go way back now because
A long
high
time.
school was a long time ago. What did you get into after high school? I moved away. I went to Texas like right after high school, spent like a good chunk of that, came back at 30. So now like all the people that I knew in life either are scattered or around. I know you kind of went into the arts full blown, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's what are you doing now here?
I'm the creative director of Kappa Repertory Theater, which is a new theater company
Okay.
that merges local, professional, pre-professional people all sort of in one,
Yes.
and does or specializes in, I should say, sort of immersive or like turned on its head, topsy-turvy theatrical experiences
Love it.
using iconic works that you already know.
Yes.
So that is what I'm here doing, and I run the music program at the Kenosha Academy of Performing Arts.
Dude.
And so that is what I am doing
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll kind of come back to that.
Sure.
But what'd you do after high school? How did you? Yeah.
After high school, I went to the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. I was a Keenan Scholar, and which just meant that they gave me a full ride, which is unbelievable. And
Yes.
it's, every year it's one of the top 3 drama schools in the world.
No way.
And I trained with just the best of the best.
Yeah.
My mentor is a guy named Gerald Friedman, who directed the original West Side Story.
I was gonna say,
had
yeah,
a hand in like a million Broadway shows, and was sort of a prolific dude. And I should say he worked on the book scenes for West Side Story. He didn't, but he just great mentors and a great path for me at that time. And then when I graduated, I moved to New York City, started waiting tables,
As
and
one does.
as one does, and figuring out what it's like to pay rent in Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn,
Which I don't even
I was
want
hopping all
to.
over that.
I see those TikTok videos of like the apartment walkthrough, and
That's
that
very
corner.
real. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, that's very real.
Or what is it? Wanderlust? Have you seen Wanderlust?
The movie?
They buy
Yeah.
They buy a studio apartment in New York City, and it's literally this.
Yeah.
Just this, and they're pulling the bed out of the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, so I went to New York City and I was working a little bit. Like I got a couple like cool readings with, neat people. But I took a production of Assassins at Signet Theater in San Diego, which gave me my equity card. It was like sort of my first professional job.
Cool.
And it took me out to the West Coast. And I met with a manager who I invited to the show just on a whim. And he picked me up and he started like Heath Ledger and Mark Ruffalo.
No
and
way.
some really iconic talents. And he was like, let's give this a try together. And so I started auditioning for like film and TV at sort of the highest level. And he put me with some big agents who at the time were repping Chadwick Boseman. And so I had sort of a real shot. So I moved my life from New York to LA. And then after a couple of years of auditioning in Los Angeles, I booked a movie called Men of Granite, which was never made, but I was going to be opposite William Hurt. And 2 days before I was to get on a plane, they halted production.
No.
And then a month and a half later, they canceled it. And 2 months after that, my agents dropped me.
No.
And so it's just
Jeez,
like
man.
a whole like
whirlwind.
yeah, just such a
The bottom
just
fell
like
out
the
from underneath
stories you hear, Meanwhile, I had classmates, on SNL, and I had classmates just sort of like skyrocketing to
Sure.
opportunities that I was hopeful I had. And it was a real rethink moment or like a stop and halt moment. I knew I still wanted to do what I was doing, but I knew I needed to like repair.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was with somebody who was really brilliant, and went to NYU and was a writer and had all these songs about gun violence in America. And they were like early concepts. Some of them had been developed at NYU and earlier showcases with this woman named Liz Swados, who has this incredible, iconic history as well in the American theater. Anyway, we started writing these songs together, and I never really saw myself being a songwriter, but Ralf, you and I grew up doing musical theater
Sure, yeah,
together,
of course.
so it wasn't like out of the realm of possibility, I guess.
for sure.
And Jonathan Sokolow is this person's name. He was like, we should be writing these songs together. Just write these with me in your free time. Like, what else are we doing? Your waiting tables, you're depressed.
Yeah.
And so we did. We started writing these songs, and we met with this sort of protege. His name was Daniel Sway, and he won this international competition that Hans Zimmer was looking for the new major sort of film scorer.
Yeah.
Like somebody took it. And we met Daniel at a party. We sort of partnered with him, and a year and a half later, we had this album out in the world that put us like in Time and People and
No way.
Billboard, and so all of a sudden, I was like songwriting too. So it was I found that while I was out there. And anyway, I don't know. It's been ups and downs in all kinds of ways. But most recently, now I've come back to start Kappa Rep.
Yeah.
To sort of help the Kenosha art scene because
Yes.
I feel passionately about it.
For
And
sure.
I like, hometown is hometown.
It's always hometown. Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough to sort of still have my agents and my management and all my people,
Yeah.
and they don't care where I am as long as I can sort of be wherever I need to be. So I just did my first feature film.
Dude, I want to talk about that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know.
Yes.
But that is the whole journey that is to now. And I'm happy to say I'm currently directing theater.
Yes.
I'm in front of the camera. I'm behind the camera.
Yeah.
I'm writing music, and I'm happy, and I'm close to my family.
That's good.
and I get to
Yeah.
be an uncle.
And there's a new baby on the way.
Yeah, there's a new baby on the
Yes.
way.
Yeah,
And there's
man.
still feels like a brand new baby. I mean, he's two, right? Like
Sure.
the Liam. So
Yes.
it's been awesome. If you would have told me 10 years ago, like there's going to be a future in which you can exist in Kenosha, Wisconsin and still participate
Sure.
in your dreams in other
Yeah.
cities or opportunities wherever they may be, I would have been like, that's insane. But COVID
Yeah.
kind of changed the game in terms of
Sure.
accessibility, where we exist, and where we, what we can embark on.
I feel like technology also has a big hand in that now. Because I think of like, well, the obvious example, Dave Chappelle. He basically
in the
owns
West.
Ohio, and
Yeah.
but he's kind of doing his thing now, and he's still one of the top, and just kind of doesn't have to be on either coast, right? Like he can kind of be
You can
where he
get
needs
on
to
a
be.
plane,
Yeah, exactly.
and with cost of living, honestly, like I have to say,
Sure.
it's so nice. Like, we think that if you're on a TV show or if you're in a movie, you're just raking it in for the rest of your
Yeah.
life, and it just doesn't look like that.
No.
It goes down every year.
Yeah.
You see us fighting for that, and
Yes.
SAG-AFTRA having to go to bat every year to keep rates in place. And,
Yeah.
and I think that being able to live in a place that's a little more cost effective, where you have more resources, allows you then to be a better professional where you need to be.
Mhm.
For sure. Absolutely.
Because you don't have to make those decisions that like this is a maybe, but this isn't absolutely,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about that. You
Of
can just
course.
be here and do whatever.
I
Well,
love
and then
that.
you've got your hands a little bit everywhere too. So
It's really cool. And I have to say that the theater we're creating here in a big city would cost 100 times what it's costing
Yeah.
to do here, simply due to enthusiasm,
Mhm.
simply due to like wanting to see that. Whereas like in a major metropolitan area, they're like, please, enough. Like we're
Mhm.
booked,
Sure.
So yeah, it translates not just to like cost of living, but cost of like practice, cost
Mhm.
of art, like
Yeah.
what you're doing. So
That's killer, man. We were in Sweeney Todd together.
we were.
I remember you being Mr. Sweeney himself. Were you
It's
not?
crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Okay.
crazy.
All right. I saw
No,
your
no.
eyes, and I was
No,
like,
yeah,
oh no,
just
did I
think
get
about,
this
like,
wrong?
we were so young doing that. And
Yeah.
that was so cool.
Dude, theater has always, and we had Jody and Alan on last season, and not a week goes by that I don't think I threaten my wife with can I try? Can I just like move to LA and like try?
Sure.
Yeah, not a week goes by that I don't just daydream about doing it still, right?
Yeah.
We have a family that comes in here, the Seegers, and she did a lot of theater growing up. Now she's like a stay-at-home mom and stuff, but she's still very involved with the Racine Theater Guild. And she will do shows with them every once in a while. She'll do like or I think during the holiday season they do just kind of this one-off thing where you can go in and sing a special, and it's a whole show around it.
Cool.
And she's like, dude, you got to come out. You got to try it. And I'm like, yeah, I absolutely want to.
Sure.
Finding time is the other part of it all.
You should come do a cabaret.
Yeah, I know. But man, when I was telling my wife that you were going to be on, I was just like, this is going to stir up a lot of just hopes and dreams that
I
I
talk a little bit more, man. Like,
dude, I don't know, man.
I'm so
I don't know.
glad that I bring that energy.
No,
to the
it
room for
really
you.
is.
Like,
Every time I see your stuff come across, I'm like, I'm glad that the arts are still alive and well, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially with now and the other side of technology being kiddos can just sit there and watch something on their phone the entire day, whereas actually making art and making entertainment. And that's one thing that I'm pushing and I guess we should involve Heather in this conversation. Heather was in school for illustration and stuff. So she's definitely very much an artist at heart.
well, and then my brother's a musician,
And her brothers.
and my grandmother had 3 cable access TV shows when she was still alive.
playing piano, and doing like the thing.
One was a piano. One was called "Getting to Know You," where she sang the song.
Getting to know you.
Yes, and she interviewed people in the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
Basically what we're doing.
We're
now.
doing,
Yeah.
but I feel like she. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into that. She's not alive anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But
Okay.
she once interviewed someone and was like, yes, I know. I know. Yes, I know. I know. And I was like, wow, what a great interviewer. Yeah. And then she did Titanic reenactment.
Okay.
And she also had a comedy. So she technically had 4, but the comedy was short-lived.
Okay.
But yeah.
Your grandma sounds awesome. Like,
Mhm.
I want to meet her.
Oh, yeah. In public, she's great.
I mean, she had a TV career.
She did.
And it's not a mistake that it runs in a bloodline. I think
Mhm.
creativity is very...
Well, then my cousin works for he works as a producer, and he's worked with the BBC, but because in England, they do things differently.
in many ways.
Yes. Yeah. Drive on the wrong
They
side of the
drive on the
road.
wrong side of the
They
Yep.
call fries chips. They call a fanny your fanny.
Sure.
Yes.
Hmm.
All kinds of fun stuff. Have you been overseas? Did you do anything overseas when you
No.
were doing your thing?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
would
It's
love
not, I
to.
mean, you're
I hope to.
you're this big time movie star now.
No,
so
not at all. In the indie movie network.
But what is that one called?
That's Out of the Woods. It'll make its U.S. debut. It just had its Canada debut in Toronto like last week. And then it'll make its U.S. debut at the Bentonville Film Festival, which is founded by Gina Davis on June 16th or
Awesome.
17th. I don't know. I'll be there the 16th through the
Yeah.
18th. And it stars Frances Fisher and Academy Award nominee Bruce Davison and Mimi Kennedy, Stephanie Estes. Amazing. And it's about a woman named Max who is diagnosed with early onset dementia. And in the same sort of breath of getting this diagnosis, she is come face to face with an old sort of like lover who is sort of this incredibly special person that got away, who happens to be a woman. And she has to decide if she's going to spend the last year of her memory with her husband of 30 years or this
What?
person who reappears in her life.
I love this.
And I play her
Alright.
doctor, Tony Biamonte. And it was just a total joy. My friend Sal Bardo directed it. We met in New York City. I was a fan of several films of his that I saw in different places. And I had reached out. We became fast friends. Like before the pandemic, he said, I've got a new script. I've got a part for you. Will you come and read it? And we did it with a bunch of like really amazing actors out there. And then COVID happened. And then in 2023, I guess, early 2023, he came back and said, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to make the movie. We've got the funding. We've got all the people. He goes, but I want you to pick your part. He's like, there's 2 that I think you could play.
Okay.
And the one that I was doing in the readings, for some reason, just seemed less compelling to me than the one that I ended up choosing. And he sort of started weaving his way into other parts of the movie in a cool way as we began to work on it. And I just had the best time. So, and just to be opposite people like that on screen. The only other film I had done at that level was a short. I mean, it was with Jane Lynch and Kate Mulgrew, which is awesome.
Awesome.
But it wasn't sort of full length.
Yeah.
And so this was my first soiree into that and a dream come true. And
Yeah.
so
Was it everything you wanted it to be?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so grateful to say that because you never know what.
Yeah, I've heard the horror stories.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But when it's awesome on set, you feel it.
It was independent.
Sure.
And while there was a budget, it was sort of like homegrown in its own way. It was a production company where like the makeup teams and the editors and all of the people had all worked together on several other projects.
I love it.
So it was super dialed in. And we were in the woods. We were in Big Bear because we needed snow.
I was going to ask, where was it filmed? Because the
it's
trailer I
Big
saw
Bear.
was beautiful.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so well made. I highly recommend it. It'll be streaming, I'm sure, at some point once it plays all the festivals. But yeah, I had the greatest time.
Who shot it?
Doing it. Claudio Rietti.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily know the name, but I will look out for it because
Yeah, it's
it was
brilliant.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had quite a career.
Okay.
But yeah, he was a cinematographer on it. And yeah, it was just a joyous experience. And I have to say, like, to be an actor in your 30s during this time, it's like no project is sort of stacked with actors and that for a new person coming in. Do you know what I mean? Like you sort of, as you're getting on camera, and I've, auditioned for many, many years and gotten close to several things that were awesome, but never transpired.
Sure.
And so you sort of expect your first job to be like 2 lines on whatever procedural, some kind of like, I don't know. And I just got lucky. It's not. I have a fully developed sort of situation in a movie with people that I've watched growing up going, wow.
Yeah.
And so that Oh, it was a blessing.
Dude, I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait.
I'm so
to
happy
see it.
for you,
It's
man.
gonna be great.
That's
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Thank
Speaking of bloodline,
you. Mhm.
your last name
Mhm.
is kind of a big deal around here, right? Are you
I kinda
guys in the
rediscovered that.
same What's that?
I was just saying I kind of rediscovered that when I moved back here. I
Oh,
kind
okay.
of
Are you guys the
wasn't
same
tracking
family?
that.
Molinaro, right? So Molinaro
I
with
mean, I think that there's several contingencies of us.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think depending on who you ask, we're all related in different ways.
Sure.
But I often am asked if I'm related to certain Molinaros in town, and I'm not familiar with them. So
Okay.
I do think that there are, or I don't recognize a
Sure.
family tie. So yeah,
What's his name? The
El
Molinaro.
Molinaro from Happy Days.
L.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just got a
that's
statue.
that's
It's
what I was
amazing.
just referencing.
Yeah, I think I was told many, many years ago that we are, that is a
Somewhere-
Molinaro I am
somewhere in
tied
there, yeah.
into. My grandfather is Charlie Molinaro, who, rest in peace, was an Italian immigrant
Mhm.
and had a lot of sort of people he came over with. So I don't know the origin of that. I'll also say that Charlie, like Molinaro, I like inherited because my grandmother on my dad's side got remarried
Oh, cool. Okay.
to
Gotcha.
a Molinaro.
Sure.
So I'm not Molinaro by blood.
Sure. No, I get it.
Even though that's almost like maybe that's sacrilegious.
Yeah, no,
maybe I should keep that on
yeah.
the tongue. But I'm not Molinaro technically blood. I'm more Italian on my mom's side. I'm a
Yeah.
DeLuca and a Ruffalo also.
Okay. All right. So you got all the bloodlines.
I got
all the Ruffalos.
Yeah.
Did you ever run into Mark?
No.
Okay, because you guys
We
could have shared the hometown thing.
Well, we share a hometown, and his first manager was my first manager.
Okay, sure.
Ooh.
So that was my only correlation with him. But I would love to connect because I think we're aligning on a lot of things.
Yeah.
He does a lot of good for this city.
Mhm.
I've seen and heard. Yes. Yeah. Well, he's a big time listener of the podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was like, eh.
Yeah. No, we get like 2 listeners a week.
Well, that's okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, well, no shame. I think like captive anyone is exciting.
Yeah. That's been actually really cool. We go through this online software where they're basically our distributor, and we get to see the numbers that we hit and where we are being listened to, and we have some decent numbers. I mean, it's not Armchair Expert or Joe Rogan or whatever, but it's cool. It's super exciting to just know
That's so funny
people.
because you're like so geeked about that, and I just like being here.
Yeah,
I'm literally just here
I'm just
for the
here for the
ride.
party.
Yes.
yeah. She's here for the blessed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so interesting because like a life in the arts as you're trying. I never do it like I want to say this the right way. It's not the attention I'm into.
Yeah.
I like the work. Like I really do enjoy the work.
Yeah.
And it is therapy for me.
Sure.
I would consider myself an introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
The battery recharge.
Big time.
Yep.
And I can get very quiet. And I just think that in a world where you have to have eyes to equal funding,
Sure.
to equal, enough of a presence for somebody to go, yeah, I'll take a chance so you can have a chance at something even greater that will then fulfill another part of that dream. Like it is a piece of it. And I understand why it chases a lot of people away. But I think you can strike a balance. And I think you do, the moral of all of this to say, I think you do have to keep your eyes on it.
Yeah.
But remember, it must be like attached to your soul if it's going to mean anything, even if it does eventually hit numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's been on the forefront since before we started. I was kind of new to the podcast thing, and I was like, oh, another podcast, people talking about their opinions that nobody cares about, right? Like that's my view on things. But then we actually kind of started narrowing down what we're doing and sitting down with people that we've come across in our maybe professional life or personal life, maybe both, hearing their stories and what they have overcome and what they're coming through. I mean, the last person that was just here before you left, the powerful story of just Man, incarceration to now totally rehabbed and doing, man, it's beautiful to hear these stories. And I think that's one of the grounding things that I hold on to. Yeah, I need to look at the numbers just because that's unfortunately my vice. But at the same time, it's always been about the storytelling and about loving the person that's sitting in that chair, right? Just
Yeah.
hearing the conversation. And that kind of works. I say this all the time, but that's why I think we work so well together because I'm like a conservative pastor's kid who grew up in church and that kind of thing, and she is very much not a conservative pastor's kid who grew up in church. And so it's awesome to kind of hear opinions and differing point of views, but also finding commonality within that. And that's kind of podcast in a nutshell of what we're doing. But anyway, thanks for being here. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
We'll
It's
see
been
you next
great.
time.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. And I think your audience teaches you what your purpose is. Like,
Sure.
I think the presence of people or like ears or what, however that manifests teaches you sort of what your mission
Yeah.
might need to be.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's how open you are to listening to that as you
Mhm.
go
Mm-hmm.
that will eventually teach you whether or not
Well,
you
that's the
have
nice
something
thing
worthwhile.
about having mostly our clients as our
Mm.
interviewers.
Yeah.
Interviewed? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Guests,
There you go.
yeah.
Is that other clients are listening, so they're like, "Oh, I loved this episode." They tell us like homegrown, like what they were interested in,
Yeah.
and then, but also like having. Well, one we have like a nice little. It's like a garden. It's a little garden. We can just pick people out of it,
Oh, for sure.
but like alive people, not dead people.
Let's go back a little bit. I mean, since I've met you, you were a year younger. You were a junior when I was a senior, I believe. So we were always kind of 1 year apart. Have you always wanted to do the arts? Were you making like puppet shows for your whole family to watch when you were growing up? Because I know I did that. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
The
funny you
manger
ask.
babies.
What's that?
The manger babies.
We were taking the manger babies and making it all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I was just, it's Tony season.
Okay.
And so I'm sort of dialed into just watching all these interviews of all these people I love and respect, sort
Sure.
of talking about where it started for them.
Yeah.
And actually in the last couple of days, I was like, where did it start for me? Like, what was like the thing? Because I think one of the questions from the interviewers was, what was the production where you knew it was forever? And, before I was even getting into anything or finding my outlet, I was doing Wizard of Oz in my basement with my cousins.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Same.
was just obsessed with it from it was just very organic. Love to tell a story, love to entertain. So I don't know. But
Yeah.
the first thing I ever did was King and I. It was a Kai Pak show.
Yeah.
And Nick Strino directed it.
Yeah.
And Michael Snyder. So many birds were sort of a part of it.
Yeah.
And I cut the bug right away. I knew like right away
Yeah. For
that
sure.
I was like, oh no, this has got me
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. I remember my cousins and I doing that thing, just kind of putting on a show using the flashlights or whatever, and having the family come obligated to sit there and watch
Totally.
these kiddos do the thing. But that's where it's at, man. I really love seeing that, especially in generation now, like we were just talking about. I love seeing that stuff. We like I said, growing up as like a pastor's kid, there's always like music, right? So my dad was a musician growing up, and then being involved in like church music and that kind of thing. That kind of sparked. I think that kind of sparked the bug because I didn't really get into it until later. I didn't really pursue music until maybe like I was in 8th grade or something like that. That's when I picked up a guitar and I was like, I like this,
okay.
I'm learning some Jason Mraz, some John Mayer,
Uh,
learning these songs, and I'm like, I like this. And then that's when I started dabbling in theater. What middle school did you go to?
Lance.
Okay. That's where my kids are at now.
Yep.
I was
Love
at Bullen,
Okay.
and I remember they did a Diary of Anne Frank.
Okay.
I remember watching it, and I think I may have been involved in tech. I was probably like running sound cues or something, and that's probably when it sparked for me. It was just like
The Diary of Anne Frank.
Well, yeah, it was just, but also because I think it was one of those things that's like, this is a heavy story.
Yeah. You're doing
And
something with that.
yeah, and they're not like, And we talked about this with Jody and Alan. It's like I appreciated the arts so much, especially with the teachers involved, these adults in the mix that didn't treat you like a child and didn't try to like shield you from certain things. I remember Holly used to do this as well, where she was very, very much upfront with something and like, okay, this is the situation, this is what's happening, and this is the story. How are we going to interpret that story? How are we going to tell that story? Even to the point where we got to call our instructors by their first name. Like,
Yeah.
that was always cool. You know,
Yeah.
you could call them Holly, Mike, Jody,
It
Nick.
felt more collaborative. I understood
Yeah.
why they did it. Yeah, and I think it's really smart. And
Yeah.
I too feel very like at Kappa, like my voice and piano students will call me Mr. Braxton.
Sure.
And we do that across the board for everybody. And so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, for sure.
But as soon as you're like 17, 18, I'm like, okay, enough.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like if we're working on a piece of art together, just call me my name.
Yeah.
But I just thought they were incredible. They are incredible. I'm so grateful for the education that we had there.
Yes.
I have to say, like in the choirs as well.
Yeah.
I just think like we had such, and the bands and the orchestras. I mean, we were. I don't know. I don't have a temperature on what it is now. I certainly know the theater department is rocking and rolling, and Jody and Christy do a great job. But and other, not to leave anybody out, but like the entire district does a great job at keeping the theater alive and well. So I don't know what the caliber is because I'm not in it.
Mhm.
That said, when we were there, it was just like the best of the best. Even when I look back at it with a great arts education after high school, I'm like, God, we had it so good.
Yeah.
Like between Choral Fest and Bandaram and then this full season of shows, which included Sondheim and Bernstein.
For sure.
And, and these incredible, so it was just, I mean, talk about a springboard into whatever you were going to do in your life.
Yep.
And that's why fund the arts, give them everything they need. Public support, put your attention on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just take a moment to say that.
Exactly. Oh, and having International Thespian Festival, when we would be able to go to that,
So cool.
Super
You're on
cool.
stage, like we speaking of Sweeney Todd, getting to do Sweeney Todd with a full orchestra for thousands of screaming teenagers.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know.
It was golden.
Sets you up for feel goods.
I'm so glad that you're still in it, and that was one of the reasons why I was really trying to get you on the show, just to kind of see what's new and what is to come with you personally. But also I want to talk about Kappa, because Kappa's doing some really cool stuff in town.
Awesome.
I love the overview that you just gave a little bit ago about what you guys do. When I saw that you guys were doing a train car called Desire.
A streetcar.
A street.
Yeah, it is.
I'm awful.
No, a train car called Desire. That's pretty good.
And it's also
a
super long.
streetcar named Desire. Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And you had some pretty decent names come to town.
I would say, yeah.
How does this work? How does that work? I didn't. We're big The Rookie fans.
Okay, yeah,
yeah. So I was
Bridget, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I turned to my wife and I'm like, how did Braxton do this? Like, we're in Kenosha. Why would they want to come do a show here? So sorry. For someone who doesn't know what's happening, what?
Hi, I'm still here, guys. I'm still here.
What is the show?
Yeah.
And then, and he was able to, you could talk.
Yes. We did a streetcar named Desire, just for context. Kappa Repertory Theater, we started 2025. We did Stuart Little soft launch, moved into Little Shop of Horrors. We shut down
The
4
entire
city
street.
streets.
I want to talk about that too.
And all
yes.
that. But all of this progressed to our most recent production, which is A Streetcar Named Desire. And the goal was to bring in some heavy hitting actors just to show sort of the versatility of what you may experience at a Kappa Rep show. You're going to see a lot of local talent, but you're also going to see guest artists. Bridget came, she's in my circle of friends. We didn't have a ton of experience together. I think we had met at some Christmas parties. She went to the University of North Carolina School of the Arts.
Cool.
We trained with all the same people. So we sort of come from the same Bible, and there's sort of there's only like 24 to 30 people that get in there a year. So you only ever have a drama school of like 100 people.
Wow.
So the alumni network becomes very tight knit. And so I was sort of 1 degree away from her. And when I knew I wanted to do that play, I had reached out to a mutual friend of ours, Logan Donovan, who's also a great actor, a very accomplished actor. And I was like, hey, do you think Bridget Regan would ever think about doing this part? Because it's like built for her.
Sure.
And he's like, she's like in it for the like good fight.
Yeah.
And, the
The
stuff
love of
you're
the
doing
game.
there is looking sharp. And, and I told him that I had this idea that she'd get let off by an actual streetcar. And he's like, and like, what actress doesn't want to do that? Like,
Sure.
and I was like, yeah, wouldn't that be cool? So anyway, Bridget and I got on the phone. I think we talked for like an hour, just immediately hit it off. It was just like brother sisterhood, fighting pickles. That was our mascot.
All right.
Really?
Yeah, truly.
I love it.
Pickles.
And just hit it off. And I was like, would you come to Kenosha for 10 days and can we do this together? And she's like, yeah, I would love to do it. And
That's
then,
killer.
yeah. And Anthony Konechny, I've known forever. Again, he was rep by this early manager and we would all go out all the time together. And he has always had a really amazing career. And I just thought, again, like a dead ringer for this part, very Stanley, like he would bring a lot to it.
Sure.
And, when you've got Bridget involved or when you have Anthony involved, it's easier for another person to say yes. So I don't know in what order they came, but I just started to sort of put everybody in a circle together and go, what do you think about this? And the cast really came together. Norman Towns, Elizabeth McLaughlin from Pretty Little Liars. Norman obviously just worked with Jordan Peele on him. So we just had this like amazing ensemble. And then we put some local Kenosha actors in it, Jada Monet Robinson and Alex Ortiz and Santiago, who had never done a play before. So we just, Patty Fitchett, I don't want to leave anybody out now that I've named so many. But it was such a great thing to show people that, Kenosha is worthy of performances like this.
Yeah. And that's what that's I think what was felt. I think when I saw that, I was very thankful in a way to you and to like bringing this kind of thing to Kenosha. That you put it so nicely. Kenosha is worthy of this kind of entertainment, this kind of performance, and it was so cool to see. You guys shut down when I started talking to you. You guys were working on Little Shop of Horrors, and if anyone's not familiar with that show, it's a fun, dark humor,
sci-fi,
exciting sci-fi show. Definitely check it out. But you guys did a whole thing downtown.
Yeah.
Cutting off city streets, like
they were working out of the Equinox.
It was super cool. Yeah.
So walk us through that.
Caravati and her whole team there. Yep. So we did Little Shop of Horrors at Equinox Botanical Boutique when Annie Hackett, who's the artistic director and owner of Kappa, and I decided that we were going to try and do a theater company. We knew we wanted it to be very unique. And so I was like, let's do something insane. Like, let's do an on location something. And I guess the reason it was born out of that is because growing up, we've worked in so many of the local spaces and they're awesome, but everybody sort of has an affiliation with those spaces. So to sort of like reconstruct them for people's imaginations were maybe not the first thing we wanted to do. And so I said, let's expand the perspective and let's honor Kenosha. Like, let's look at a corner of Kenosha, that is, I think, totally iconic. The just height and those buildings. And
of course.
So anyway, I was driving down that street and I don't know, like it felt like a God moment and like just sort of like a lightning bolt. I was singing Little Shop of Horrors. Like I had that song, Here I go, baby. Like in my head, driving down Avenue 6A. And I was like approaching Equinox and I look at Equinox and like, oh my God, that plant store looks like... Oh my God. And then it sort of was this idea. And I took it back to Annie, and she is a dreamer and, a believer in people. And she was like, let's do it. You think they would let us?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I walked in and Maria was like, I think this would be really cool and really good for the community.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And so, we did Little Shop of Horrors. And also we wanted to like on a more visible level, on a more, expanding the potential of maybe not just being a local theater company, but one that's doing important regional or national work.
Sure.
We wanted to signal to artists like Bridget Regan, who then many months later would want to come work here, that we were going to do something new, that it wasn't going to be your traditional production of Little Shop of Horrors.
Of course.
That the heartstrings were going to be even greater because it's tied into small business now. Or it wasn't just going to be a streetcar named Desire. A trolley was going to pull up outside. And in fact, that very trolley is a special thing about that town that it's happening in, and everybody that's watching it is sort of moved on many meta levels.
Well, that's like when you're
You know?
watching like trains, planes, and automobiles, and you're like, hey, they're driving down the highway.
Yeah.
That's right there. They're on the wrong side, but like nonetheless, they're in my town.
Yeah.
Or what was it? Ice Harvest was filmed in Waukegan. I grew up in Waukegan.
Okay.
So like when they were filming, we were driving around like seeing all the stuff that they were doing. And then when we watched the movie, we're like, I know where that is. I know where that is.
That's so true. Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
or when Harry Met Sally, and you're like,
For sure.
oh.
They're just iconic. Yeah, you can't replace the indelible place. And I have to say, the other cool thing about doing like on location theater, especially in a place that you grew up in, and trying to find pockets of opportunity where you're like, this would be a great place for a piece of theater, is the way I see the corner of Avenue 6A where it splits might not have been how you've seen it, but we've both had life moments in that place.
For sure.
And for a moment or for a couple of acts, I get to sit you and show you that picture from my perspective.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so inherently, it brings people closer together because you're sharing how you see something that somebody else has seen, but
It's like
perhaps in a different
the shared
way.
experience of like sitting in your car when your parents are driving and you're looking out and you're watching things and you're pretending that you're running or like whatever you do outside.
Yes.
That where we all have that same thing that we do, but we do it differently.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
What is one of your memories of downtown Kenosha, like that area? Just curious.
So I would say that when I was in high school, I did a production of Chicago,
Cool.
with my friends. We just all got together, we raised some money and we did all this stuff. And we did Chicago at the Ralph J. Houghton. But because we couldn't afford the rehearsal space to be there at the time, we rehearsed, this is going to get me in trouble, inside of the Kenosha Theater, which was like an abandoned building. And right now I know Jeff Boz, shout out, I know they're working to sort of get some stuff happening, and I hope they do. That'd be awesome. But it was this big sort of destructed space. The Kenosha Theater. Do you know about this place?
No.
Kenosha Theater. It's like a 2,200 seat auditorium downtown, but it sort of has survived, or I should say maybe not survived.
Yeah.
Is it like the Genesee in Waukegan?
Exactly
Okay.
right, but it has not been restored.
Yeah.
And it deserves to be. Exactly right. But anyway, we would rehearse in there.
Also, the statute of limitations
on that kind of thing.
on that kind of thing. You're
Am I
past it.
okay?
You're past it.
Okay.
You're way past
Okay,
it. Sorry,
good.
you're old. Like
Yeah,
us.
I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we rehearsed in there. And anyway, I mean, it just brought us downtown, and like the hooks on the stage, there's like these massive hooks. And they were where they hooked up the elephants for the Barnum and Bailey circus when it would come through town, because Kenosha Theater was on the vaudeville circuit.
Oh.
And so that is
wait,
a really
poor
special
elephants.
memory, is like hanging out in this theater doing the musical Chicago, like
Wow.
on stage.
Yeah,
I was like,
dude.
that's
There's so much. Yeah. There's so much like history that you just mentioning that's craziness.
crazy.
But that's also like, first of all, the thrill of sneaking into the building.
Well, no, we had the key. We
had the
were
key.
allowed to be there. I want to be clear. But it was just like, it was like kids doing a play downtown, in the old Kenosha Theater, rehearsing Chicago. Like it was
Rascals.
like that was a memory.
Yeah, for sure.
But I have so many. I love
That's
downtown.
awesome.
My grandma was such a influential person in the community in her time at a children's store called Morrison's. Shout out Dolores Kingsley. I love you
Yes.
so much. Rest in peace. But so long legacy of hanging out downtown, loving downtown. And now it's so great to be back after 18 years away and seeing so many awesome businesses that have like bloomed.
Dude, it's
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah.
great.
Yeah. We're pretty versed with a lot of the small businesses down that way.
I want to know the magic soup, though, that your parents had raising you guys, like what your family unit was like to have such passionate children. It's just the two of you, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys are so passionate, so dedicated. There has to be something in there that, I'm not saying your family's perfect. I don't want to put that on you, but like, it's really freaking awesome to see that. Because like,
Thanks.
some of us are left really emotionally damaged and insecure.
Look, we all have our stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I would say that I stand on the shoulders of a giant, and her name is Chris Molinaro, and that is my mother. And I don't want to get emotional about that, but I'll just say that
It's okay. We really
she
enjoy it. It's good for ratings.
Yeah, no, she just really heard and saw us our whole life. And I think that when we brought something forward that we were passionate about, it was met with nothing but enthusiasm. Even though we both kind of chose stuff that was, we both chose things that were very hard to do.
Mhm.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, I would accredit that not just to her, obviously. I think we have a whole family of people that were very supportive
Yeah.
and wonderful, but I would be mistaken not to say that
Sure.
all roads sort of lead to that person
That's
on
awesome.
every
Yeah.
topic,
Yeah.
at least for me. So yeah, that's where it comes from.
But it's like also like you had mentioned that things didn't go exactly the way that you wanted them, so you pivoted. Like she also gave you the tools to pivot.
There were so many times that she could have said, "Do you want to come home?"
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
But she knew that it wasn't the time
Mm-hmm.
and that I wouldn't.
sure.
That the wanting to do it would never go away.
Yeah.
So instead, she was constructive in those moments to help me navigate through them. And I just think that takes an extraordinary amount of strength.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely. Especially as a parent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that, man.
I do too.
Downtown holds a pretty, I would say, sacred part of my heart.
Yeah. What
definitely.
are I would be very interested to hear your memories downtown.
It was-
You know.
Or like, maybe not, whatever's kosher on the air. But I just mean, I would be interested to hear sort of something that sticks out or
Do you know that big red brick building church that's on
Of course.
the 6 or 7 something right there?
I know, like I can, as you say it, I'm like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, of course.
So that's the church that we grew up in. That's the church that my uncle was the main pastor. Apparently that's if not one of the first or the oldest church buildings or whatever in that area. It was like I had the history not long ago, but that's where like me and my cousins would grow up. We would do plays in the basement of that church.
Cool.
It was just a big kind of family unit being outside. There were these big trees in front of the church. I remember pretty vividly. They had like these steel cages around the trees to make them grow up or something. But we would just climb those trees all the time. It was just like, dude, downtown holds such a such a strong part of my childhood that when I see you guys doing stuff or the small businesses that are sprouting up down there, I'm just like, I want to champion them so much and just like,
Well, we've talked about going downtown, but it doesn't make sense for the business that we have because we cater to a 40-mile radius.
yeah,
I mean, before moving to Kenosha, I didn't realize how big Kenosha was. And then on top of that, you've got like the county out there. So it wouldn't make sense to go down there, but it would have been so cool. Cause like I'm a big fan of like architecture,
Of course.
like especially
There's
the
so
older
many
it is, the
beautiful
better it
buildings.
is for me.
yeah.
And then going down there and being like, oh man, we could have like this really cool old building. We could do
Yes.
different things with the different levels.
Yeah.
And
I kind of want to do some urban exploring now that you were talking about the Kenosha Theater. Like just
There's just so many cool like old relics down there, and the homes too. Oh my god!
Mhm.
Oh,
on that
for sure.
lakefront when you drive down there, I
Yeah.
mean that is
well, and it's fun too because you go from one side that's like all these big ass mansions.
Mhm.
Then you go to this other side where it's all these tiny bungalows that are people renting out from.
Yeah.
And those are used to be like the vacation home of people from.
Al Capone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that is true, isn't it?
You spent more time in LA, right?
Yes,
Or New York?
like double the time in LA.
Okay.
In New York. Yeah.
Because I remember, at least when I started kind of reconnecting with you from afar, you probably popped up on my Instagram or something like that. Some commercials, you were doing like some commercials down there.
Commercial.
Yeah, MasterCard commercial. Yeah, and I was watching. I was like, at first I was like, dude, this is awesome. And then I was like, wait, what are the mechanics of all this? Speaking of mechanics, with Kappa now,
Mhm.
how does funding work? How does one bring these artists to town and yeah, how does that happen?
In a couple different ways. So Kappa is a private business. We're not a nonprofit.
Gotcha.
So, our funding is distributed evenly throughout the year based on an operating budget. And, every sort of endeavor gets its, stash of
Yeah,
this is
budget.
what we have to make this happen.
Sure.
And the programs that are kid-centric, so like Willy Wonka, when we did that, Stuart Little, Annie, it operates like a lot of sort of national theaters where you pay tuition to be a part of that program.
Sure.
That allows us then to bring in great instructors for those kids.
Sure.
They sort of have 12 weeks of really concentrated time with these professionals. And then some of that is also then allocated to be able to pay for some of the production elements and the things that we do.
Cool.
And then, of course, we hope as ticket sales continue to come in and that we continue to sort of build on our audience, that then we also put some of those funds obviously then back into the program and we continue to grow it.
Yeah, for sure.
We've had to be very scrappy. I will say just very candidly, our productions look a lot more expensive than we've been able to do them
Sure.
for. Thanks to the graciousness of a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, the more we can do large scale things and get more of the public there, the more it sort of puts in our pot to then even have more adventures.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
But the answers are never simple to money. You're always sort of being like, well, we need a big box and then we can do that special small thing that's going to cost maybe $220, but then we'll have to frame that with another big box.
Yeah.
And so then my job is making sure whatever we are doing, it's unlike anything you've seen before. Sure, Little Shop of Horrors, you've seen it before 100 million times, but you haven't seen it like this.
Sure.
And so it's always finding what our spin is.
But it is fun. Like Little Shop of Horrors for me at least is like that's a staple in the movie. I saw it one time on stage and then mostly the movie.
Yeah.
But like being able to see something that you already really like you said, in those little spots that are special to you anyway. I mean, those would draw people anyway.
Of course.
Even if you had just done like, I want to go see that Shrek musical.
Yeah. Rodeo,
I really want to go
course.
see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've all seen Shrek a million times. We quote it here quite a lot. I do.
It's our
I
vocal
love Shrek.
stems.
Yes.
Well, and nothing will ever be the same because, only that group of actors have lived the life that they've lived.
Yes.
So what they are bringing to that part will look new than it did on Eddie Murphy or Mike Myers, right?
Sure.
It's so that's a...
Well, yeah, because like Dragon's an actual drag queen.
Yeah. And how smart. Like what a great...
So cool.
So yeah.
You went to school for what?
Acting. I have my BFA in acting, yeah.
BFA?
Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Fine Arts, perfect.
Yeah.
I think I knew that. I just wanted
Neither
Some
of us
programs are like a
finished
Bachelor of
I
Arts.
finished college.
That's okay.
Oh.
Doesn't
No, but
necessarily translate to anything, but it's, in case I enjoyed it.
So in it for the love of the game, and now you find yourself in a position of leadership where you're having to work with budgets and spreadsheets and all that good stuff. Do you find that an easy transition? Like, are you naturally just a little bit more
organized?
And
I've
are
always
you
been
okay
pretty
with
organized?
Yeah.
Like my parents are very type A.
Okay.
I think we all are actually.
Yeah.
I think we all
I was going to say,
appreciate
you guys all look type A.
Yeah.
You guys
I
have-
think we
You're
are.
very clean.
Thank
You have
you.
nice nails.
Thank
like
you
you can
so
tell he
much.
takes care of them.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say we're all very type A. It's been a learning opportunity.
Okay.
I have to say, Annie has been so good at sort of teaching me the ropes, and it's allowed me to be really mindful about what it takes to keep a tight belt, but also like create cool opportunities within a certain window of opportunity itself. So yeah, I find it not difficult.
Good.
But newly challenging in a way that I welcome, because if you can budget for a musical, you can budget for a home, and if you can budget for a home, you can budget for a musical. They all infuse each other.
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
Yeah.
What's up next? What are we doing?
We're doing Annie.
Okay.
Doing Annie. It's something I've always wanted to do. Annie. It's definitely in my top 10 favorite musicals.
Yes.
When I was a kid, there was a 1999 version of the musical that came out. Rob Marshall directed it, who is prolific and has done a million things. Hairspray in Chicago. And it had Kathy Bates and Alan Cumming and Audra McDonald and just the best cast ever. And it left this mark on me.
Okay.
And then all through my life, I feel like I have met 110 musicals. Very fortunate to have been in them, around them. Annie has never been one of them.
Cool.
And And it's perfect for our studio. We've got a lot of great young women who are dancing with us and singing with us and playing piano and music with us. And we wanted something that would appeal to giving an opportunity to a lot of young girls. So this will. And it's also like a family favorite. It's very holiday centric. So we'll do it right before Thanksgiving.
Cool.
And that'll be at the Ralph J. Houghton Performance Center, like Willy Wonka was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be awesome. I'm directing Chris Terry, who is a prolific dancer. He's danced with Ariana Grande.
I just saw you guys advertise that he's going to be
yeah, he's a good friend of mine for many years. He's coming in and he's going to choreograph. So it'll be sort of like Annie, like you've never seen it before. And then we got some really cool sort of video and technical elements we're talking about that sort of brings that little shop hybrid
cool
media vibe into this element as well. So yeah, it'll be great. Annie. Auditions are, I want to shout this out, July 18th and 19th.
Oh, perfect.
You can sign up at kapparep.com and we're looking for a ton of people.
Yeah.
You want to bring, we have so many kids that do theater. They're like homeschooled.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of theater.
Oh, right on.
So if you want to bring in a roll call, what do they call it? A roll call?
Casting call.
Casting call?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Any kind of stuff that you want to bring in, man. Dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We want to meet as many people as we can.
Yeah.
Auditions are in July.
July 18th, 19th, there are auditions. And then the show is November 19th through the 22nd.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Where is Kappa?
Kappa is over here by Menards.
Oh, it's right down the
Kind
street.
of. In that plaza.
Kind of by Great Lakes Church.
Exactly right. In
Yeah,
that same
yeah.
plaza over there. It's 7600 75th Street, Suite 121.
Awesome.
And yeah, we offer a ton of things and we continue to expand the curricula.
Yeah.
We offer all kinds of stuff. So there's ballet classes, there's musical theater classes, there's tap dancing classes, there's classes for people of all ages. So if you're an adult who tap dances, you can study there.
I don't.
I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you look like
you could try.
Yeah, that's it.
And we encourage people to. In fact, every year I feel like we're doing more programming where we're like, come on in. Certainly with Kappa Rep, we're like, hey, no matter what age you are, if you're talented, like come on in.
That's so cool, man.
But voice lessons, I have adult students and yeah, but we do. Sorry, I'm getting all flustered. We do all of these things.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a great place to work.
Awesome.
It's a great place to work. And I'm excited about the future of it. It seems like more people continue to catch on about what's happening. They've been around, by the way, to their credit, for 20 years.
Kappa.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
A bunch of our kids go to Kappa and work with you guys.
Yeah. It's an awesome place. And it gives them leadership qualities early, So even if you're not going on in the arts, like just a good hang. You've got like people around you who love the same stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's opportunities for everybody. If you don't sing, like you can be in the ballets, go study. Nutcracker has become such a hit for them, for us.
Yeah.
And so, we've just started a spring ballet as well. So they just did Secret Garden.
Yes.
So that's
we
really
had the coaster
cool.
up here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
For
sure.
It's really cool. It's almost like being part of like a college campus because you've got ballets, you've got music concerts, you've got theater happening.
That is so cool.
This whole conversation has given me such nostalgia for the days of rehearsing.
You've got to come do a play. I think you should audition for Annie.
I don't know, man.
Do it.
I think you should. And I think we're going to get your listeners sort of dedicated to the cause now.
To the cause, yeah.
And I think
they'll be like, hey, I'm an Annie, so you guys going to need to come.
That's right.
We could talk about that.
Okay.
I remember being in high school and I was an awful student. I think I still am. I don't learn like everyone else. I need very much to be visually stimulated and cued. But I remember my grades just always being terrible. And my parents, one day they were like, you're at school all day. You're at school from 9 a.m. or whatever till like 10 p.m. How are your grades so bad? I'm like, because the arts, like I love what I found.
Like thinking about something going on after school. And
yeah, very much so. And
I'm just doing this so I can do that.
Exactly. Well, that was one thing that Jody and Alan brought up. I think Alan mentioned, are the arts serving the academics or are the academics serving the arts? When it comes to a school day, like a school system, because I think she was saying that her classes have been cut down to like 30 minutes now, where when we were there, we had an hour and a half.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
I remember even the rehearsal periods for us, and I think this has to do with media and sort of our attention spans and all of that. and what people think is and should be tolerable, which but when we were in high school, we would rehearse. I mean, like we would start at 3:30 and we go till 9:00 and we loved it, like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And then, when we got into like tech and like all of that, we were like happy to be there on the weekends,
Very
happy
much
to
so.
be there in our sweatpants all day long and like taking a break and running the subway for 20 minutes, thrilled.
Yeah. It was
But it's
Quiznos, by
changed.
the way. Quiznos was a crowd.
Oh, Quiznos. Oh, yeah, Quiznos. You're right. Quiznos. But yeah, I think that things have certainly changed in terms of our focus on in general on everything.
Would you give a quick word to maybe some of the parents that listen to our podcast who are maybe thinking that the arts would be good for their kiddos or maybe trying something new?
Their kiddos want to go into the arts and they're nervous because they're afraid of their child having too much disappointment.
Oh, sure.
Interesting.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer both. I'm going to kind of treat them as two questions. Okay. One is if you have a student or a young person who is excited about being involved in the arts, or you yourself are excited about being involved in the arts, I will tell you that it is a life enhancer. It is not a skill enhancer.
I like that.
It emboldens communication. It's going to give you tools in your relationships. It's going to teach you how to talk to yourself.
But that is a skill.
And yes, I think that is why you should do the arts, not just for the satisfaction of like, look at how talented I am.
Look at me.
Yes.
That is a byproduct of the sole purpose. And if you're looking at the byproduct before you're evaluating the sole purpose, it's going to be a mess every time. So I think that is my answer to that. And then to expand upon it and say, for people who are interested in getting into it at a professional level, I'll give one hard-hitting piece of advice, which is if there's anything else you can do in your life, and this is not new advice, this has come from a lot of wise people, and I have found it to ring true in every moment of despair or success for me. If there's anything you can do and be just as happy, do that. Because there is an enormous amount of luck that is involved with this.
Sure.
There is an enormous amount of resilience. There are going to be 100 million things that are said to you that are harmful.
Yeah.
As well as 100 million things that may build you up and inspire you too. I don't want to be negative about it because it's really given me a life of satisfaction. But all of that to say, if you can do something else and be just as passionate about it, do that. Because I think our ultimate calling here on earth is to like serve for whoever that is, for whatever entity you believe in.
Yeah.
I think that is why we're here. So figure that out. But if you can't, run in the direction of your fear. Like, go do it. If you were going to find, Ralph, this is going to be so hard for you to hear today. If you are going to find that it is going to upset you not to try, absolutely do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will be left forever with that feeling of what if. So just go do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you may find along the path that it rewrites itself.
Sure.
That thing that you wanted more than anything turns out to actually not be something that you wanted.
Sure.
But it led you to something else.
Well, that's what I found. Like when I went to Cosmo, a lot of girls went in, they're like, I'm gonna do color. This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And then they fell in love with another aspect of it. So the same thing I feel like with any art form, you go into it thinking, this is what I want to do, but then you get introduced to all these other things. Like if you're a painter and you have to build your own frames, all of a sudden you're woodworking and you're building furniture.
Of course.
And then with you guys too, like you've got stage build outs, you've got painting, you've got costumes, you've got hair, makeup, whatever. There's a huge plethora of things that you can learn in that. And you kind of have to learn those, especially like when you're in high school, you're doing it all by yourself because your budget is nil.
Oh, by the way, that's going to continue through your life, especially if you like creating. You're going to find that you're having to do a lot of roles all the time. And that's the other thing I'll say, which you inspired from what you just said, is do it all. Say yes to it all.
Sure.
Like I always was really interested in the process of many different skills within the same world.
Yeah.
So I love directing. I love sitting at the piano. Like I love talking about the lighting and what the cue looks like. I love talking about the sound design and pulling the music or scoring it myself. Like I enjoy those aspects. And the more you do at everything, the better you are at everything.
Sure.
I can be a better director because I think I'm a good actor. I know how to talk to an actor.
Yeah.
You know, I can be a better whatever.
Sure. And you know what's happening even behind the scenes, and you know what's happening at front of
course.
house. And yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was probably one of the things that I really enjoyed, because I didn't get on stage until high school. So I started in middle school doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, just like, I think it was, now that I'm thinking of it, it was audio cues for the Diary of Anne Frank. And then Little Shop of Horrors, I was still doing, that was the last show I did that was tech. Sideshow was the first show I did on stage. And dude, it was like nothing.
That one was so good.
I can't believe we're having this conversation today, especially because of like the conversations that I have with my wife all the time. Just last night, I was telling her, something we were watching a show or something. We're like, yeah, that's a really good actor. She was doing a monologue, and man, what show were we watching? Anyway, the actor was awesome, and my wife was like, yeah, she's a really good actor. And I look at her, I'm like, sometimes when I'm alone, I'll do these monologues by myself in the mirror,
Sure.
and like just feel the emotion, and
Yeah.
like you get the teary eyed and all that good stuff. And she was like, seriously, you do? And I was like, yeah. I can't believe you're saying all these things that I'm thinking. I'm gonna end up doing it. Yeah.
I think, look, I'm just a supporter of where you feel your life's mission is,
Sure.
like whatever that may be. I think that there's certainly something euphoric about being able to do it. It has always been a form of therapy, like I said earlier in this conversation, for me. I love to get up there and just do it. I love to be vulnerable in front of people under the guise of, or the stencil of a character that provides you some safety, but that you get to explore real feelings.
Sure.
And you get to do it in a forum where you're encouraging other people to know that that's okay.
I love that.
I think at its highest level, right? Like that's the kind of stuff I want to see.
Well said.
Is you playing with real stuff under imaginary circumstances in a way that I, can't help but hold the mirror up to myself watching it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how much money you have to do that, right? Like you can do that with nothing. Like it can just come from you.
There was something I was going to say about families thinking about getting involved in the arts. I think there's something for everyone in the arts, and there is something for everyone in the arts. Like if you're passionate, if your kiddo loves making like YouTube flicks or YouTube videos or something, like there's something for everyone. I think the arts encompasses all of the things that we could hope that our children would want to get involved with or do. And you're learning discipline, you're learning just all things.
I love Josh Groban, by the way. If you haven't seen it at home, Josh Groban does a great, I think it's a commencement speech somewhere. It's
Hire a Theater Kid.
Yeah.
We made a whole TikTok page or TikTok post about it.
He says just
hire a theater kid. Mm-hmm. If you want to do things on a zero budget.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I used to tell the people at work. My old shops, we're always looking for receptionists, and it's really hard to get what you need because you need after school hours, weekends. And I was working in an affluent area where the kids did after school activity after school activity. Like their jobs after school were to do that, not get jobs.
Right.
And I said, get an art student, get it. Because the theater kids are too busy.
Sure.
They're too busy. But the art students are not that busy.
No, and
they've got that gumption and then that creative wonder. So they're going to be good with the kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not always. But still, get someone who's artsy because they're able to do what they need to do. They're going to be a hard worker because there's something that they have a goal in mind. They're going to need the money for it or the experience for it, because just staying at home and drawing all day, you're not going to get any experiences.
Braxton, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. What's next for Braxton? What's next for Mr. Molinaro?
For me, like I said, I'm going to be at this film festival in another couple of weeks. I'm excited about. And then I'm going to take just a beat this summer for sure, just to be around family and recharge a little bit. And then I've been working on a project. It's an adaptation of a major motion picture that you've heard of. We think for Broadway with Jordan Siegel, who did Lego Movie. I did the music and lyrics, and Douglas Lyons. who's a Broadway playwright, and we've been developing something together. So I hope to have more to say on that in the next few
Dude.
months, but I'll be all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'll also just say, if any of this has inspired other people in the community to get involved with us, like, don't ever be a stranger. Reach out. We're at kapparepkenosha at gmail.com. And it's just great to be here making stuff and reconnecting with, the people that make this place special for sure.
I love it. Thanks for your time, man. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Thank you, guys.
It was good seeing you again.
It was great to see you.
Haven't seen you in a
Great.
while. Yeah.
It was nice to meet
It
you.
was very nice to meet you.
All
Thanks
right,
for having me.
Thank you.
You got it.
Let's go.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Y'all Be Good. And as always, a reminder that we are a project of Little Lion Cuts. We hope you've enjoyed these stories just as much as we have enjoyed sharing them. Every family has a story, and we're just grateful that we get to hear yours too. If you've enjoyed today's episode and you think someone else might need to hear it, don't forget to share this podcast with them. And hey, while you're at it, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. That really does go a long way. You definitely don't want to miss out on any of the real, raw, and inspiring conversations we've got lined up. And we'd love to hear your stories too. So go ahead and find us on Instagram at y'allbegoodpod or drop us a message with your thoughts. And until next time, y'all be good.